YouTube, welcome back. This video is basically going to be about my bio pellet reactor. It's back online. It's going to take a couple weeks to break in and get the bacteria colony built up. And so let me just go over the tank real quick, show you how all the corals are doing. So I put all my polys up here on this rock. I'll show you the other side in just a moment. There's some of the newer zoas that I had from Father's Day. The candy cane is acting a little funny today. A little retracted, but I'm sure it'll be fine. There was one little mishap. My flower pot coral that was right there, I don't know if it just died or it has that brown slime disease or brown jelly disease. And what happened is I just thought it was dying off, you know, so I was just watching it for a couple days. The whole thing looked like it was kind of melting and looked like tentacles. It looked like the tentacles kind of just like got swollen and they're like falling off. So I was just letting it run its course in case it, you know, came back. I didn't want to just pull it out and throw it in the trash. But then I was watching CJ's video on that brown jelly, and first thing he said is don't hit a turkey baster on there, and that's what I did. I did a turkey baster and blew off all the stuff, and then lo and behold, there was just the coral skeleton. It's in the trash now, but it was just the skeleton, and all that stuff blew off. It was pretty light when it blew off, so it kind of floated to the top, and I have a lot of flow. I have 3,100 gallons an hour going through up there, so it kind of floated and went right into the filter socks. None of it landed on any of the corals. I don't know if anything else is gonna get that disease or not, but I don't see it anywhere. If I do see it, CJ was saying just coral dip it, take it out, coral dip it until you can get rid of it, or the corals will succumb to that. So that's where I'm at on that. It's the only mishap this week that's happened, thank goodness. This is doing pretty well. I'm going to do another video on how I feed this because it's not photosynthetic. I mean, yeah, it's not photosynthetic, so it needs to pull nutrients out of the water, and they don't do well in the reef tanks because you're trying to have low nutrient in your water. So I have, hopefully I have another video that I'm going to show you on how I feed that thing. Just an idea, see if it works. So I do like those sea fans. Okay, let me show you the pellets and we'll move on. So here's the Reef Octopus 300 internal protein skimmer. I'm kind of going to go over everything. I haven't showed the sump for a while. And so I turned it this direction so I can make sure snails don't climb into my protein skimmer and block the pump and burn it out like it has happened in the past. And so the green hose right there is the outlet from the bio pellet reactor, right where it needs to be to get drawn into the skimmer. So that's how it looks, pretty good. Skimming on that. So let me do the Aquamaxx. Steve, I was just watching your video. I noticed that you got the Reef Octopus and you're thinking about the Aquamaxx. So you've seen a lot of videos on it probably because you're always doing your research on stuff. That's 1,000 milliliters of the pellets spinning away. And it does a good job on turning these things. Let me see if I can get a close-up down there. So same kind of setup as yours on the reef octopus. But this one has, it's like little discs that are stacked on top of each other, and each one shoots out a direction. So mine, with the Aquamaxx, they kind of spin the pellets, and the other one's kind of, you're showing that it's kind of like a scoop. But this one's working really well. And so let me show you something else that I came up with. I got this from Marine Depot. Let's do the camera this way. That is a 200 micron felt pad. And I think the pad was 36 inches by 36 inches. So what I've done here is, I think that's what, 4 inches by, my sump is 24. So, and that's probably, 23, 24, or 22 inches maybe. So I'm thinking cut out these little pieces. It rinses out pretty easy. And then what that'll do is that will keep my socks a little cleaner. And this is much easier to take this up and just rinse it out in the sink. And I put 2 grates in here. I got these at Home Depot, and it's on a 2x4 sheet, and then you just kind of clip out the pieces. And I was thinking put it inside the tube, but it gets too compressed. So I made these up thinking I was going to put the pad in between, but it works better like this. And then I had the pad the full length going from here, and then after a day or two, when it starts picking up debris, then it starts plugging up, and then my auto top off, it messes with that a little bit. So I left an inch shy of going to the end, so it'll still pick up the debris, and then it'll drop off into the sock. So it kind of works out a little bit better like this, so that way my auto top off doesn't get out of whack there. So here's how that's working. That's my bubble chamber there on the right. And here's my bio media down there in my heater over there. And I do have this other tank that I hardly ever show because I don't have a light for it. So this one is going to be the clown and anemone tank. And I set it up this way because right there is the inlet, and it's fed off of the one pump down there, my DC pump. Goes up here, loops back down, 2 valves to keep back pressure, so I can have enough pressure on this one so that gray and red one feeds this tank. So I can adjust the flow to it. And I'm not going to put any wave makers or anything in there. I've had too many anemones go into them and get chewed up by the power head. So I'm going this route. Nothing they can do. There is one thing I don't know how this will affect them. The holes in this thing's pretty small, so I don't know if they'll ultimately get sucked down through that thing and get torn up, but we'll figure that out when I do eventually get them. So I'm going to put a Kessel pennant light above it, and that'll be my clown anemone tank. Alright, here's my controls. I still have not plugged in all the equipment into the controller so I can control things. So that's going to be my project this afternoon. And I procrastinate quite a bit on this thing. So that's about all I have for you. I just wanted to show you the pellet reactor, and then the next video I'm just going to do something on feeding. It's a cool idea I came up with. Alright, well, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.